part of you, Michael. It's a part of you. Say something. Say something, Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Halomcr, and I'm bringing you guys our movie review, essentially, for Halloween's Ends. It's not going to be incredibly long and extremely detailed, so there will be some things that I'm going to be missing. A quick review kind of type of thing, but more or less focused on the ending, and if there's going to be another Halloween, because that's what I want to know more than anything. I figured everybody else would basically really like to know at the end of the day, because I was super excited to see it, jumped in, started watching it. Then the movie begins basically with the new protagonist, Corey, babysitting, you know, whatever. It is what it is. He's just babysitting the neighbor's kid for some extra money. Well, that whole entire thing was fine up until the death of the kid, which, I mean, let's be honest, the death scene was a little funny, to be honest, just a little bit. Not like, oh, you know, like I took enjoyment in watching that happen. I'm just saying it was just kind of funny. Totally looked fake because of the prop dummy and its head bouncing up and just hella crazy when he hits the floor. There's more to that why I actually didn't like it, to be honest with you. And one of the things was, like, we didn't get enough context on that either. The only context that we had gotten was the door hit him in the face. For some reason, it takes like 3 minutes for him to fall off a staircase. Okay, so immediately after he gets hit in the face, after some hesitation, you know, the parents are talking, then the kid falls to the floor and basically dies, and that's how the movie starts. Now, my problem with this is that I kind of would have rather seen, like, the kid actually probably trying to kill him or go crazy, like, you know what I mean? Like, there could have been more to that. There could have been more than just slamming the door on his face by accident, him falling off. Yeah, it was still cool, you know, I like the aspect that they took a risk right there and definitely tried to shock people, but at the end of the day, there was, again, context. This movie is just missing so much more detailing of context, because we didn't even get to see, you know, him falling off the stairs. We just see him fall, you know, like unexpectedly. There's no camera up there just showing him actually falling off the railings or any of that. So it kind of just abruptly starts like that. And I'm just thinking to myself, I mean, all right, okay, you know, so that's one thing in the beginning I really wanted to point out. And next we're going to be talking about the sewer scene. This movie, to me, I was super excited to see it, jumped in, started watching it, got through it, kind of realized that not only did it take about 40 minutes before we even started seeing Michael appear, and Michael is just literally sleeping the whole entire time inside of a sewer, right? Like, in the other Halloweens, they portray him a lot more like invincible, like he can take anything. Well, in Halloween Kills, they literally devastate him, and I mean completely just beat him up, shoot him, and everybody just takes their turns on him. Then he gets pretty pissed off essentially after that and just slaughters everybody, and then kill Laurie Strode's daughter essentially, and things get really crazy in this one, but it's a lot more slow paced. And even with it being slow paced to get to Michael finally, The way they do it, they just make it extremely awkward. A nasty, disgusting, fecal matter, piss-filled sewer. Everybody just goes in there and takes their rounds, and they come out, and the waters and just everything about it is disgusting. And he's literally just rotting away in this sewer for several years and does nothing. I don't know, like, what it was the context in that. Like, was he just sleeping on the floor the whole entire time? Was he just standing the whole entire time? You know, because Corey discovers him just kind of ironically. He just happens to go in there because he thinks Michael's in there. And yeah, he ends up finding Michael. Michael gets him through the wall. That's where they have this connection. But where was the context also? How he crawled his ass inside there. Like, we didn't even get to see him crawl in the fucking sewer, right? Like, I'm sorry, but that's just so stupid. You know, it kind of just, like I said, it goes from point A to point B to point C. And there was no explanation on a lot of things. Just a lot of things. Like, it didn't show us even him going into the sewer. It didn't show us the time elapsing and what he's done in the meantime. You know, there could have been a little tiny info on that, or just something to show us what he's been doing during this whole entire time. Would have been incredibly nice. And okay, maybe I'm just grasping for straws here, but at least if I was going to make a Halloween movie, I'd probably make it as long as I can, since it's going to be the final Halloween. Sure, I wouldn't want a bunch of irrelevant, stupid stuff that people wouldn't really fucking put inside of a goddamn movie to begin with. That was unnecessarily, like, Michael just sitting in a corner for 10 minutes. No, that's not what I mean. I just meant glimpse. Like a glimpse, like just a little bit of detailing on those little factors right there to kind of give us more of an idea why he's sitting out almost the whole entire movie and what he's been doing, and the homeless man, and why he just all of a sudden started like warning him of the Michael and trying to kill him. And the homeless man did a really good job on his part of at least acting like a senile, drugged up, crazy, just batshit insane hobo. I mean, he was already humming music in the beginning of the movie, but it was just an example of like what caused him to start doing that, like what had happened prior to, before the homeless man just went nuts, you know, because he was fine for a little bit, you know, and sometime throughout the movie they give some decent enough context. For certain parts I felt that I really would have loved to see more. They don't, you know, and that shit really irritated me a lot, because then it doesn't feel like, you know, the momentum of suspense is like built up properly. For example, in Halloween Kills, it was just action nonstop, you know, and in the other Halloween movies, there was just a certain charm it had to how it gave you the kills and gave you the storyline kind of equally balanced. And I just feel like that's kind of missing here, you know, in this movie. Right? Like, in the other Halloweens, they portray him a lot more like invincible, take anything. Well, in Halloween Kills, they literally devastate him, and I mean completely just beat him up, shoot him, and everybody just takes their turns on him. Then he gets pretty pissed off essentially after that and just slaughters everybody, and then kill Laurie Strode's daughter essentially. And things get really crazy in this one, but it's a lot more slow paced. And even with it being slow paced to get to Michael finally, the way they do it, they just make it extremely awkward. There was just so much that had disappointed me about this movie, especially the beginning, especially the middle. I just was longing for more screen time with Michael, and then when he disappears again after the kid, Corey, whatever, you know, he takes off with his mask, and to the fandom, the biggest middle finger you could even possibly imagine, they completely shit all over Michael, and they make him just look incredibly weak, like he can't do shit for himself. Like, just a complete disrespect to the IP, in my opinion, which really pissed me off about this movie even more than that beginning and then the middle and then the whole, but just all these details that I am longing for to know. And then we get towards the end, the very end. Essentially, he just dies. I mean, that's it. He just dies. The whole town attacks, puts him in a grinder, he dies. But the most interesting thing that I want to cover, at least in this whole video, besides like a whole entire synopsis of the story, as short as I can try to do it for you guys, is this ending with the mask on the table. Now, this goddamn fucking piece of shit ending, which I really wanted to like this ending a lot, you guys. I really, really did. From the bottom of my heart, I thought it was just fine how he died. I don't think you really could have really done it much better than that. I don't think so, really. I mean, unless you all have your own ideas how the ending should have kind of gone. I know I've heard some comments suggest that maybe Laurie should have been dragged in there with him, which would have made more sense because then they both die. But no, Laurie Strode, she survives and writes a book about her experience and then the mask on the table, which I'm trying to decipher this in like 100,000 different ways, but to me, who's to say that the mask doesn't come up missing eventually at some point and somebody puts it on and the curse of Thorn is inside this mask. It's really on Michael's body, on him as a person, but not the mask. But what's to say that they don't do that though? What's to say that Laurie just doesn't die one day from old age? I mean, she's old, she passes away, her things get put up for sale, somebody buys her house when she's dead, and they come across this Michael Myers mask and they put it on, right? So they put the mask on, and all of a sudden all of Michael Myers is like past, his history, the curse, everything kind of just envelops this person over time, and they become the next Michael Myers. So that's what I'm assuming is going to happen. I mean, how else is Michael going to survive the meat grinder? There's just no fucking way possible. There is no way that he can regenerate all of his limbs back to normal and just get up again and just think he's going to do this again. By the time the next Halloween comes out, it'll probably be like 10 years from now, realistically. And it would make more sense if Laurie had just passed away from old age, and then, Michael's curse, ironically, I would say, would be lifted. Then how is there a curse on the mask then if the curse has already been lifted because Laurie's dead? I don't know. I can't really explain how that would work other than just there's something special about the mask, because even the doctor and Rob Zombie's Halloween talks about how the mask makes Michael feel a certain way. Well, maybe in this reality we have a mask that somehow is able to transfer the curse of Thorn. Would be my most realistic thought on this, and this is what I mean by like drawing straws at the end and just kind of theorizing the possibilities, because I can't think of any other one that would make more sense, because I don't think this is going to be the end of Halloween. There's no way that they're going to just kill this IP off like this. That's it. Time to put it away. Bye-bye. Nobody likes Michael Myers. No. They're going to figure out a way to make another one and to try to make like a whole nother thing of Halloween. And in this next maybe couple Halloweens, however many they decide to make, they finally destroy the mask, and that pretty much stops Michael Myers from ever coming back ever again, because Laurie does not destroy the mask. We do not see her do anything with it except leave it on the table. So that is my theory. That is my theory, that mask is going to have something to do with the next Halloween that comes out in the next 5 to 10 years, however long it'll be. So don't be sad, as sad as it is, because it does end for Michael's arc at least, and now somebody will pick up anew. We'd seen what happened to Corey, right? I mean, slowly somebody died. He started to just go crazy slowly, and then he became obsessed with the whole Michael Myers thing, as the town does have a curse. The town is just full of this negative emotion in some individuals, and it envelops them if trauma is not dealt with immediately. And as far as I'm concerned, all of Haddonfield is just cursed at this point. I mean, that's pretty much it though. And what I would give this movie at the end of the day, I give it a 7 out of 10, just because I did like it. I did enjoy it once again for what it was, being just a Halloween movie, but it just was a piss poor way to end the IP, and blatant disrespect to Michael Myers, being completely tossed around by Corey, and just not having any real strength to just slap him around and just kill him real fast. I understood that he was weak, but there just wasn't really an excuse for that to do him like that in both ends, essentially from behind and the front, because not only was there not enough screen time, there just wasn't a real intimidation from Michael I felt in this one. If it could have ended any other way, it would have been totally awesome with me. But anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed my first ever movie review for anything, as I don't normally do this type of content, but I felt really compelled to do Halloween, at least seeing that it's the end. And I just wanted to give my opinions based on what I'd seen finally. And yeah, I was just hoping for a lot more, but it is what it is, I guess, right? It's not like they'll ever go back and fix it or make it longer or make it more detailed, so we just have to basically be happy with this. Not quite happy, but I'm not extremely disappointed at the same time. Anyways, before I go, if you guys would definitely consider leaving a like on my channel, I would really appreciate it. Give feedback, comments, criticism, anything you guys want, it doesn't matter to me. And hopefully, if this video gains enough traction or enough people somewhat enjoyed it and would like to see me revisit other movies and talk about it, then I can definitely do that. You know, I don't mind just trying something different for once. And before I go, just again, quick shout out to my members, Virtual Chronicles, Predator Poacher Archive, and Kim Spinner, for continuing to support the channel with their memberships and all that good stuff, as it really has been helping a lot and helps keep motivating me to continue making content. And it's just an overall way of showing your appreciation for the channel. And I also appreciate the people that are supporters too, in means of views and ad revenue and everything like that. You guys are all contributing in your own way, and it's been helping out tremendously. So I appreciate it. And yeah, definitely let me know about the theory though. If you guys have any other theories of your own that involve the mask or what could happen in the next Halloween, be sure to leave the comments down below. Thank you.